All right.
Let's go.
Are you ready? Welcome back. Fading in. That's really cool. I like that actually. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Just the Fit Tip.
Just a fit tip.
We give you fit tips about the fitness industry. Sometimes we debunk myths, and other times we just give you cool tips.
Yep.
Yeah. Today we're talking about the kids. A very, I would say, commonly thought misconception about children and training is that training children, adolescents, youths, is bad for them.
Or lifting weights in particular.
Resistance training is bad for them and stunts their growth, which has been unequivocally debunked. Yeah, it is just straight up not true. We have talked about this in a few of the other podcasts before, but yeah, it is straight up not true. And for lots of different reasons. So it is not inherently dangerous. And I was actually looking at quite a few studies, and I found out where it all started, Nevin.
Oh gosh, where did it all start? Please enlighten me.
I've got it here. So it all started in about 1985. The NCSA, National Strength and Conditioning Association of America, had a few things posted, like a few studies.
NSCAA?
The NSCA, yeah.
No. Like National Strength Conditioning Association of America?
No. It's
the opposite of ASCA. It is our counterpart in the US.
Yeah. And in 1985, they initially had this kind of position, they called it, where it was based off of a few things.
In the 80s, mid-80s?
Mid-80s, yeah.
40 years ago, guys. 40 years ago.
It's based off a few studies, specifically with a few juniors that injured themselves training, and it was revised because they were lifting way too heavy and they were unsupervised. And the general reason why this was thought is that when children grow, their growth plates are growing with them, and if you train and lift heavy weights, those growth plates like fuse or seal early.
You can break them along the line.
Exactly, and that was why weight training would stunt the growth of children, and that is just straight up not true. They have revised their statement since and done quite large literature reviews over the years, and now their official statement is a properly designed and supervised resistance training program is relatively safe for youth. And now they say relatively safe because there are risks inherent in everything that you do. Adults get injured doing weight training, and occasionally children do get injured in weight training as well. But it is not inherently bad for them.
It's not inherently dangerous, and it's not more dangerous than many other things.
Exactly. So children get injured playing soccer, playing rugby,
falling off monkey bars.
They're actually statistically more likely to get injured in literally any other form of physical training than resistance training. It has one of the lowest instances of injury in youths. And this is proven over and over and over and over again. And so they revised this in 1996, actually. So since 1996, which is still a long time, they have been saying that resistance training is not dangerous for children. And it is just kind of that initial thing has kind of lingered, as you would expect with parents concerned for their kids. It's fine. A properly designed and supervised program.
Correct.
So those are their markers for that. So as long as you have a coach, and there is a coach who has a properly designed program and they has constant supervision, you're good. Do whatever you want.
Well, I'm gonna bump this straight across here, so you can quickly see. Is that basically I've just taken 4 sports. Rugby union, and I averaged this because there was 2 different countries. One was even higher than this, one was a little bit lower. So the average rate of injury, and this is per 100 hours of participation. And then, like I said in the text, that an injury is something that's requiring requiring medical treatment. Okay, going to the hospital, seeing a doctor, writing an insurance report, something that's there's repercussions for happening. It wasn't just like, oh, I hurt my arm and go off the field.
Yep.
Okay, so. This is the rate of risk of injury per 100 participation hours.
Yep.
Okay. Rugby, 1.31. Okay. So there'd be 1.31 injuries every 100 hours if you take all the people that were competing or training it, and you average out how much time they were doing it for.
Yep.
Okay. Athletics. So again, non-contact sport. So rugby union, high contact, collisions. It's nasty sport.
Yeah.
Right. 1.31. Athletics, non-contact sport anymore, but running, jumping, landing, all those sort of things. Probably some overuse injuries as well as some acute injuries.
Yep.
Right. 0.57% instance per 100 participation hours.
Yep.
We go down to badminton. All right. So again, there's moving around, but no contact is probably less forces than you were, landing on a pole vaulting, jumping, or jumping hurdles, sprinting, right? Down to 0.05 per 100 participation hours. And then way training. Down, weight training, 0.0035. All right? And it's just because so many people can weight train for so many hours. And it's fine. Like if you think about this gym, we have probably 60 members that come in and out. On average, let's say they train 3 times a week, some 2, some 4 times. And very, 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 the entire time we've been open, 4 years, there's been one shoulder dislocation, which was a freak accident.
Yeah. And that happened because he had previously dislocated his shoulder like 17 times.
Right. He's had a bunch of surgeries on it, and it was literally with a broomstick movement. So it wasn't even a weighted exercise. So we've had one serious injury. That's the only serious injury, and then we've had
you've had one.
Well, yes.
You hurt your back warming up.
Yeah. I hurt my back warming up. Yeah. Okay, I hurt my back warming up twice. And of course, there's those sorts of little niggles like that. But if you take into the number of hours that people have trained in here, and how little injuries there are,
and
that require medical attention, you know?
The issue with why it is dangerous, why it is thought to be dangerous in kids is because that if the bones get fractured and then they heal, they'll stop growing and that'll stunt your growth. So not only do you have to see an injury, but you have to see a fracture of some kind that will then heal at the growth plate. And it has to make a poor recovery, and it is just not true. It does not happen.
And then it's sort of like this old wives' tale of it's going to stunt your growth when it's perpetrated, and then still carried on.
And you see
it's not true. You see a lot of like people that lift weights that are short, stocky, because generally they are well suited to lifting weights.
Exactly.
It's just because a kid plays basketball doesn't mean he's going to grow up to be 7 foot tall. It just means that all the best basketball players are the ones that are 7 feet tall. Yeah. And do you know what I mean? And they're the last ones left in the sport. Same with gymnastics, right?
Yeah, they're short. They don't have to move the weight as far. They have shorter lever systems. So when they do weight training, they're just naturally better at it, stronger and more built for the sport. It is just the way that it is. So it's not something that is caused by lifting weight. It's just where people go when they're good at lifting weights. Yeah, and that's why.
And I think it's important to you could hypothesize, well, why is weight training apparently so safe? It's because it's so structured. It's so structured and repeatable. Do you know what I mean? It's like, all right, especially on like machine weights, but even on free weights like dumbbells and bench press, it's a bench press. It's the same thing every single time. It's not like there's this giant margin of error, whereas like at least in badminton, like you can roll your ankle jumping to smack the shuttlecock, or in rugby you can get smashed from the side or behind or whatever. You don't see it coming.
It is very dynamic, and in a game, in a sport, there's nothing that's
unpredictable.
It's unpredictable. And so you have to do lots of rapid, quick changing of directions. There's like decision making that goes into it as well. People just make bad decisions sometimes when their reaction time isn't very good. Their body isn't strong enough to handle a weird direction that they turn in. In the gym, that's where you practice those things. In the gym, it's slow, it's structured. You're working specifically on the technique that you require for your sport. So that's where you do all the safest structured work that builds your body to do the other stuff better. So you don't typically see a lot of injuries in the gym. You see most injuries on the field or in training when people are doing those sorts of things. It's much safer. But the rates of injury when I was looking through that, they're so low.
Yeah.
I don't understand how this has been so popularized. It really has. It's one of those things that was blown wildly out of proportion and just is straight up not true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. Weight training for children and youth, very safe if done under supervision and well structured.
It does not stunt your growth. No. And I'm not short because I weight train. I'm good at weight training because I'm short.
There you go.
Deal with it, tall people.
We hope you enjoyed that episode of the Just the Fit Tip. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It helps this channel grow. By the time this video comes out, we might be over 1,000 anyway. But we're going to keep pumping up to the stars. We're going to get 250,000 subscribers.
I haven't even thought about this. What we do once we get more than 1,000. What's the next goal?
10,000. Take a long time.
That's a lot. Let's not even think about that yet. All right.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.
All right.